Once again, dear viewers, you're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. Microcredit and savings program in Southern region. Awards for outstanding athletes and coaches. Putin and Xi reject U.S. interference. Colombia and National Liberation Army extend ceasefire for 6 months. In our domestic news, an activity assessment meeting held on 6 February in Mendefara disclosed that the microcredit and savings program in the southern region has recorded commendable efforts in providing services to customers in 2023. During the meeting, administrators, heads of economic development, and representatives of the microcredit and savings program from all 12 subzones participated. Mr. Tirfe Gabriel Johannes, head of the branch office, presented the activity report, highlighting key points. According to Mr. Tirfe, the amount of distributed loans, that was approximately 23 million nakfa in 2022, increased by 12% in 2023. Additionally, the number of customers rose from 9,111 to 9,431, and the number of village banks increased from 138 to 149. Recognizing the positive impact of the microcredit and savings program on the livelihoods of many citizens, Mr. Tifla Asmarom, the acting manager of the program, emphasized the need for coordinated efforts from stakeholders and administrators. During the meeting, participants engaged in in-depth discussions and endorsed several recommendations, including conducting investigations on the individuals prior to providing loan services, among others. The microcredit and savings program in the southern region serves customers in 661 villages. The Central Region Administration honored 32 outstanding athletes, 17 coaches, and 9 clubs in recognition of their remarkable contributions. The event was organized in anticipation of the upcoming Paris Olympics 2024, celebrating the notable achievements of athletes from the Central Region who bolstered the national athletics team throughout 2023. Mr. Asmorom Tsagabrhan, Director General of Culture and Sports in the region, emphasized that beyond simply acknowledging the athletes, the program plays a significant role in inspiring fellow athletes to strive for excellence and actively contribute to the sector's development. Commending the victories achieved thus far, Mr. Festahaye Haile, Governor of the region, urged athletes and coaches to continue their hard work for even greater success. In attendance at the event was the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Arafai Barha, and senior government and PFDJ officials, as well as the head of the Athletics Federations. The East African Half Marathon Championship took place today, 9 February, along the main streets of the port city of Massawa, marking the 34th anniversary of Operation Fenkil. A total of 71 athletes from various regions of the country, as well as representatives from Denden Club and individual athletes, participated in the competition. Athlete Samsom Amare and Kubrom Garazgiher from the southern region, along with athlete Debasai Desale from Denden Club, won the gold, silver, and bronze medals, respectively. In the women's category, covering a distance of 10 kilometers, athlete Rugbe Hapte Selassie from the southern region, athlete Jordanos Haile Selassie from Denden Club, and athlete Kudusan Tuwalde from the southern region secured the first, second, and third positions, respectively. Additionally, a Paralympics competition and mass sports activities were conducted with numerous participants joining the event. The winners were presented awards, while certificates of recognition were distributed to individuals who contributed to the successful execution of the program. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned now for the international news right after the short break. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping Both rejected what they called U.S. interference in the affairs of other countries. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushkalkov gave details of the phone call conversation between the two presidents in a briefing to journalists, saying the two leaders had spoken of creating a multipolar, fairer world order in the face of U.S.-led efforts to contain both of Washington's biggest adversaries. China and Russia have grown closer and expanded trade ties in recent years as the United States and its allies impose sanctions against both countries, particularly Moscow after its war in Ukraine. Putin and Xi met twice last year as China-Russia trade hit $218.2 billion during January to November, according to Chinese customs data, achieving a goal set by the two countries in 2019, a year ahead of schedule. Russia, meanwhile, leapfrogged Saudi Arabia to become China's top crude oil supplier in 2023. Chinese data showed last month Moscow and Beijing have increasingly carried out trade in rubles and yuan as they phase out trade in US dollars. Putin and Xi stressed on their call that it was important to build financial infrastructure that ensures reliability of payments. The Colombian government and the rebel National Liberation Army, ELN, on Tuesday agreed to extend their landmark truce for 180 days. The truce, called the Bilateral National and Temporary Ceasefire, was previously extended by 1 week on January 30, 2024, while each side continued ongoing peace talks. In addition to the extension, the peace process is being financed by multiple donors. The renewal of the ceasefire concluded in Cuba after the first round of negotiations took place in Venezuela and the second round in Mexico City. Colombia's High Commission for Peace says that the dialogues for peace between the governments and the ELN ended with 5 agreements and 2 protocols. As part of the agreement, the government agreed to fund the ceasefire in order to prevent the ELN from continuing kidnapping, drug trafficking, and illegal mining to obtain funds. The truce forms part of President Gustavo Petro's plan for total peace with armed groups in the country. The ELN is currently Colombia's last active far-left guerrilla group. It first took up arms against the Colombian state in 1964, making the conflict ongoing for almost 60 years. International Crisis Group has commented that the 6-month bilateral ceasefire, if successful, will mark the longest bilateral ceasefire ever concluded with a guerrilla group. Please stay tuned now for a recap of tonight's headlines. Microcredit and savings program in Southern region. Awards for outstanding athletes and coaches. Putin and Xi reject U.S.'s interference. Colombia and National Liberation Army extend ceasefire for 6 months. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.